Okay, so we have, this is our 4-way trial. We did Apivar, Hopguard, formic acid, oxalic acid. And we marked all those cards last fall with playing cards I stole out of the dining room table. And they were a pack of cards with Lion King theme, so various animals from that movie franchise. So Disney, please don't sue me. So we got Lion King spades, hearts, diamonds, and clubs. Now, one of the first things is I was trying to take just a sample of, a bite of bees from each one. I didn't want to, stick the snout in and fill a jar from just one hive. So, and one of the first things that happened was the hearts were just pumped full of bees. I had no problem getting the samples. The other hives, not all of them could even have hives, bees that were reachable. So you'll see that some of these have more head space on the bottom than others. The hearts doesn't look too good at all. So, do we want to start with the good news or the bad news? I don't know. Let's first of all, we'll do a little inversion test first. I like to, even if I am going to do a hard count with, say, straining everything through a cheesecloth and counting mites, I still like to do the inversion test because that sort of field test methodology, you want to kind of have that calibrated to a real hard number, right? So, are you likely to miss a few? Is it accurate? And so I recommend if you're at home and you got extra time, do both, because then you'll build up some confidence in your field testing method. Okay, so first of all, let's see here. Let's go from bad news to good, let's suppose. So we're thinking just because we didn't get many bees that there's something wrong with these hives. These are the spades. Just gonna write that down here before I forget about it. Spades. So the inversion test is just to have 2 lids, cut the center out, and then put a screen in. I use fairly coarse. You want something that the bees go through, not at all, but that the mites will. And then an empty jar attached to the sample jar. These samples have been sitting around for a couple of days, so everything should be pretty dead and loose in there. And then we flip it over. Now, I always worry about mites getting caught in, the pack of bees being a bit of a filter there. That's why I think it's possible for your sampling process not to be that accurate. But then we look at the bottom. Oh, and we see if I can't illuminate that a little bit better. But I see mites galore here. Counting them is not really even possible. So that's interesting. Okay. So now we have to, I'm going to run all of that through we'll take the screen the mites out here first. So this is just the liquids. I'm going to check the bees a bit later. Oh, I got another idea for a good test. Okay, so we're just going to strain this. And we probably need to give that a bit of a rinse. Check to make sure our jar is empty, which it has one mite still left in there. Right thing, okay. So now, I don't think we're going to get that accurate a count here without a lot of trouble. But I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, shit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's somewhere between 20 and 30 mites in there. I think it'd be interesting to just do the inversion on this sample jar again. We'll top it back up with antifreeze. Get another good shake. Yeah, and as I suspected, there are definitely more mites swimming around in there. You can see them here. One there for sure. I see one. At least two, one floating. Not supposed to float, but once. So, I mean, our surmise that you have some mites left in the B package here is accurate. We can probably dump this out and get a better sense of that. One mite still left in there. Plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that 30 number starts to look like a low instead of a high estimate. I'm thinking that's 100 bees. We should count them. I'll do that off camera in a minute. You don't want to see me try to remember how to count to 100. Okay. Repeat. Now we just repeat that 3 more times to see if we get mites all over the place for everything or not. Okay. Get a fresh, clean piece of filter cloth here. I gotta mark the, okay, I'm gonna put the lid back on that jar so that we can remember to count those bees later, especially if it looks like our results are close. If it turns out none of these other samples have no mites, I'm not counting those bees. We're just gonna take that possible treatment right out of the equation. Okay. Next one, hearts. Give us some good news. Now this is the one that filled the jar right up. I'm thinking that's about 300 bees. In fact, it's full enough that it doesn't really shake for the hoop. I see a couple mites, but nothing like, so like there should be, if this was infested to the same rate as those spades were, this would be, remember, you know, it's 3 times as many bees, should be 3 times as many mites. There should be close to 100 mites on the bottom of there. And instead I do see some, one, maybe 5 or 6. Let's pour it out and see. Oh, there's more than 5 or 6. Jar is clean. No, it's not. There's 2 in the jar. There they are. Okay. So what do we got here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So 11 mites, and that's the large bee sample. I feel like we should try that again because that is quite a pile of bees. We did see that not all the mites came through the last time. Yeah, and again, we got mites there. So, tells us, you know, that if we're doing sampling in the field, we're going to undercount. And the reason I'm pretty, you know, focused on sampling here is like the margin of error on these varroa counts is just paper thin, right? We're, you know, economic threshold for sampling in the early fall in my part of the country is kind of around 1%. So, and then you're trying to make a prediction about 1,000 hives on this, you know, you don't want to sample every hive. So you're trying to extrapolate out from a sample a yard or a couple samples a yard, or maybe even you've taken 5 samples for your whole operation. Like your margin of error might be 4 or 5%, and you're trying to measure 1%. Well, you go to your local statistician and ask them what they think about that, and they're going to tell you you're wasting your time. And I think that is a big part of the beekeeping industry's challenge with these mites. Oh, there's mites galore there. 4, 5. There's 5 in the jar right now. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So we left over half the mites behind and the first time we shook that jar. I feel like we should do it one more time. I'm going to dip some of the... I don't want to dip out of there. Come on, you lost mite. There you go. Welcome to the screen cloth. There's Mr. Stubborn right there. Okay, one more time. Except this time I'm going to try to recycle some of this stuff here. Still mites. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6. Okay, well, that is interesting. I call that 5. So now we've got 14, 34 mites in that sample. Seems like the same number of mites as the first one, but remember it's triple the amount of bees. Let's put these bee samples side by side. Right outside, when the fluid's all gone and everything's sunk to the bottom, you can see that's probably double the amount of bees. So if they have the same number of mites, then one treatment's twice as good. Okay. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, there's more like 8 mites in there. 9. Jeez, that wasn't 5. That was 9, giving us 37. Okay, rinse this out. Inspect to make sure we're not counting mites twice. Looks like we're okay. Pull ourselves to a new part of our filter cloth. Okay, diamonds. Also seeing lots of mites. Oh, hey, that works pretty well. Got the level, oops, sorry, the level of my fluid is up near the top and the wax doesn't suck to the middle as much. Oh, that's much easier to count. Good to know. But also mean, oh, look at the mites. Ay, 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 ay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. This is, yeah, you're out there and you know how to design a camera to take Siri. How many mites do I have? Nothing? Ah, come on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 16, 17, 18. I'm going to have to do a grid or something. This is, okay, stand by. We're going to have to invent a better counting system. All right, here's the new improved system. We got a barrel gasket, just stretchy enough to hold the fabric tight above the fluid level. And then we're going to slide a ruler across the top so that we make sure we only count each mite once. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 3, 24, 25, 6, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 2, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70. Eesh. Okay, and to be thorough, we're going to repeat that with another wash. Dip a little of this out of here. It took a little too much. And there are indeed mites there. Okay, let's see what we get. Okay, I'm going to let that debris settle out a little bit and then pull it tight. Whew! Almost as many, if not more, mites than the first time. Well, you should go back to my videos and check what diamonds are, because that's not doing us any favors either. 1, 2, 3. Oops, sorry, my clamp slipped on here. I will tell you at the end of the video, once I look it up, what each of these treatments were. I deliberately didn't go back and remind myself just so I didn't try to prejudge anything. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 7, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49. So, we're getting only slightly more than half on our first flip of that bottle. That's concerning. That means that, and actually I'm thinking I'm going to go back through these samples. I'm saving these jars with their identity preserved. We're going to wash those in a different way at the end to see if we can't get an even more accurate result. Got to count the bees, we got to wash them. What a pile of work. Okay, last one, clubs. Gotta find a clean piece of filter cloth here. There we go. Okay. Our clubs. See if I can't by shaking it sideways, and I'm going to invert it slowly and see if we kind of get a more accurate sample here. So we're going to just gradually do this, not have that pack of bees become its own filter quite so quickly. And we got mites. Nothing like as many. I can probably count these without getting too involved here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Let's shake it again. Fill the jar. If you're new to my videos, you're wondering why the samples are so dirty, these bees have been vacuumed off the bottom of the cluster in the side indoor wintered hives. And so they are there's a lot more junk in that than really you'd wish, probably. Because you're catching the debris off the bottom boards, which is mostly bits of wax that you get from them chewing the cappings off the feed as they use it. And it's worthwhile keeping an eye on that. If that capping starts to look like it's got a lot of crystallized honey in it, or really starts to build up as if they're kind of demolishing the hive, looking for the last little bits of feed, then you've got you're on the verge of starvation. But so it's worth keeping an eye on what that debris looks like on your bottom boards. Okay, let's pour this out. I think I might free in the jar. Yeah, lots left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, so kick this out of the road for a second. Here's our results so far for the spades, which at first we thought was a lot of mites until we got more into this. 17, 20, and 30. I should go back and check those again. 37 for the hearts, 109 for the diamonds, and 28 for the clubs. So now to get a true, any sort of accuracy on that, we're going to need to count the bees for each sample to get a percentage. I'm also going to rewash the bees just before I do anything else to see if I can't flush any more mites out of this, just to test my sampling process. So I'm going to do that with basically a colander. All right, so here we have a larger pail with the antifreeze in it. The colander, this is one I think Dad bought. We kept getting in trouble for stealing them out of the kitchen, so I think we finally buy our own. We're gonna pour the bees through the colander and then swoosh them around inside the fluid and give lots of opportunity for the mites to come off. So here's the clubs. So the idea is that the mites will go, you kind of have to, how to get this so you guys can see it. Okay, so we got the bees from the clubs in the colander, and then we're going to swoosh this around inside the fluid. You usually have to, but above the straining cloth. And you just kind of gently shake that so that so the bees aren't tightly packed together. You can maybe swoosh them up and down a little bit. Give lots of chance for any mites that are trapped in there to fall out. You can maybe lift them right out. And now we'll see what we got. Aha! Mites galore. Where'd my, nope, there's document go. Okay, this was clubs. 1, 2, 3, ooh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So that would be a significant undercount. Should we try it again? Same bees. Swish around. I'll get a little more aggressive this time. Still have mites. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh. Okay, well, we're learning something anyway, which is that if you think your sampling procedure is adequate, try again. But I think washing it twice, I'm gonna have to, we're just gonna, otherwise we're never gonna get this done. Okay, that's the clubs. I still have to count these bees. Okay, hang on, we'll switch modes again. I'm gonna count each batch of bees after they're in the colander, because that'll be the most efficient. Stand by. All right, I always mean to develop some sort of thorough counting methodology for this that would make more sense. Occurs to me, I should have been weighing these jars. I think weighing them after you've washed them is pointless because the margin of error on this is going to totally depend on each of these bees weighs more because of the fluid it's soaked in than it would on its own. I should have weighed them while they were dry in the jars. And I'd have a much better idea about that, so provided your scale is accurate enough. Although, you know, I bet we could get an accurate weight on these things with, we'd let them sit on a bit of a paper towel or something for a while and dry out. I'll bet that would be good enough. Let's try that. I'm gonna set that up. Okay, I got daunted by the task of counting these bees, and I went for a walk. So now I'm wearing a warmer hat. These jars hold more than you'd think. So that jar with the clubs was 600 bees. I didn't count every single bee. I counted out 100 pretty accurately, and then I've made similar piles. This one looks like it's the last one, probably a few more than 600, but we're gonna call it 600 bees. Okay, next pile. All right, I think I'm improving my calibration system here, so it's a little hard to read, but I've figured out that about 100 bees packed down is about 3/4 of an inch. So this here's about 400 bees. And that was the hearts. The diamonds is about 2.5, so it's 1, 2, basically 300 bees. And the spades, we're going to call that half, probably about 250. Okay, now to do some math. I'll be back in a moment. All right, so here's our math. We have the spades. See the number of bees. That's at 12%. Hearts at 9%. This is 30 mites on 250 bees. 37 mites on 400 bees, 9%. Club or diamonds, 119 bees on 300, or 119 mites on 300 bees, 36%, quite a bit higher. And then the clubs, whatever that adds up to, I did the math on my calculator and didn't write it down, over 600 bees, 8%. So now, are we going to learn anything? Turn the dial, and here we have Apivar treatment, 8%. Formic treatment, that was with the mite gone pads, 12%. Hopguard, 36%. Whew! So, well, lesson learned on that one, at least for fall treatment, not effective. Oxalic, right in the hunt with 9%. So isn't that interesting that those three treatments are probably within the margin of error of each other? And I find that interesting because, at least the way I do oxalic, it's way easier and less work and less cost than any of these other methods. So if I can get just as good with oxalic, man, I'm all over that. So, those are results for 4x4 trial. Now, this isn't the end of that trial. We're going to follow these hives through till spring. I wasn't even expecting to get these results this early. It's only because we figured out how to sample these bees, and we don't know to what extent those samples are representative, because we are sucking the bees off the bottom of the cluster. Is that more mites? Is that less mites? Who knows? So we'll follow these treatments through till spring. All right, everyone. Thanks a lot. Have a great day.